The heart chakra is the center of love, of balance, compassion, and healing. If you want to learn how to have a more magical relationship with your heart chakra, then stay tuned to this video. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charmed Life YouTube channel. This channel is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. I would love it if you enjoy this content, that you would subscribe, like, share, comment, and click the little bell so that you can get notifications for when I post videos. Now, this is the fourth in the series of magic chakras, to have a magical relationship with your chakras so that you can manifest, be balanced, and see your life purpose manifest for you. Now, I assume folks that come here are into magic, the manifesting universal love kind of magic, and that you're also interested in healing and helping and having compassion, the unity consciousness. And so that is what the heart chakra really gives us the hub for. That's what the heart chakra is doing for us, is helping us to be balanced in all of the ways that we love, that we heal, and that we have compassion. Well, let's talk about some of the basics of the heart chakra. It is, of course, located in the center of your chest, right there with the organ of the heart. It's associated with that organ, and really it is as vital in the energy system as the heart is in the physical system. The heart chakra connects all of the energy together. Everything runs through the heart, and the color that is associated with the heart chakra is green, thus my color therapy for this video. And but there are many other colors that you could see in any of the energy centers. Another one that is commonly associated or experienced with the heart chakra is like the pink color, maybe some flecks of white, gold, silver. It's really such a dynamic energy center, running all of your expression of love and your communication of love and your healing as well. Now, as it is the center for love, healing, and balance, it is also what carries grief. It is the energy center that carries any grief. Now, grief is a very normal and natural part of being a human, and grief is meant to be processed. Grief is meant to be a process. Grief is the bridge between the perception of loss and the reality that nothing could ever be lost in the sea of unity. But it is a real experience to have loss as a human being. And yet it's an illusion when we consider the higher perspective. So we do need the mechanism of the heart and the system process of grief in order to help us to transcend the experiences we may have in our life that are akin to loss. We could also have, and loss is loss of hope, loss of what we thought something could be. So it isn't always just about losing something material or physical or something that is tangible. It can be the loss of ideas and the loss of concepts that we had hoped would be a reality or were a reality and then have shifted. Now, the thing about grief, though, is, like I said, it's actually a process. It's meant to be something that carries us from one state to another transcended state. And yet we can hold grief almost like a stagnant energy. And so this is related to the heart's capacity to be a balancing instrument, to be the energy center that balances love, how we love. Because, of course, we've all experienced love gone wrong, and the pursuit of love ending poorly, or even just observing the lack of love in this human society that we have going on here. That can create grief in the heart. And if it is unprocessed, if it isn't properly processed, then it can hold us back from being able to manifest and transcend in the love area. And when I say love, it is every perceivable duality, any relationship. So that does mean love of others, of everything that is outside of oneself, but it's also the love of self, because we actually kind of perceive ourselves as two perspectives. So self-love is an important mechanism that we are working in the energy of the heart chakra. And now for these messages.
Do you have a sense that there's more to life than what you can see?
Lightshine Spiritual Academy presents the Intuitive Intensive, a groundbreaking 8-week program designed to blast open your intuitive abilities and catapult you into a dynamic, connected, and psychic life.
Join spiritual teachers Crystal Ann Compton and Tricia Carr in this immersive program of education, high vibration, and group coaching. Class begins the week of January 23rd, 2022.
Now, the heart manages and produces this wonderful frequency of compassion. Compassion is so important for the human experience. Compassion is another thing that can be made out of balance if it is accumulated and not actually processed. You see, that may seem like, how could you have too much compassion? Well, when it's not processed, then it can actually build up and become a kind of grief. The way that we could have too much unprocessed compassion is if we are observing the lack of love in the world and we are having compassion for it, but it is sort of doubling down on itself. And it might become bitterness, it might become disenfranchisement, it might cause us to want to withdraw. And that is sort of the grieving process. So once again, grieving process, grief really should be always followed by process, because that is its point. Compassion, over accumulation of compassion that is not properly processed, becomes density akin to grief. And we are going to talk about how to actually allow the process, how to send the awareness to the heart chakra so it can create the balance and be able to allow the love, healing, and compassion to flow appropriately. Now, one thing that's very interesting about the heart, the physical organ of the heart, and the energetic organ of the heart as well, is that in Chinese medicine, it is understood that there are meridians. Meridians are pathways. They are basically like the freeways that modulate and coordinate the energy flow in the system. And there are, in the heart, there is the heart meridian. It has 3 branches. One of the branches flows downward in through the diaphragm into the small intestines. One rises up alongside the throat and ends up at the eyes. And then the third one runs across the chest and through the lungs, and it crisscrosses through the arms and the wrist, and it ends up at the tip of the pinky finger. So if you can visualize how we have them running in this branch of the heart meridian, running in 3 different directions, basically going out to all of the parts of the body, or the 3 major parts of the body, going up to the visualization, the eye center, the third eye and the crown, and moving through the throat center, going down through the arm where we actually give love. The hands and the arms are the extension of love, or the extensions of healing. And this is why healers use their hands when they are sending energy. And then it goes down into, as we talked about in the last video in this series, down into the second brain, or really, I think it's the first brain, down into the gut, down into the area where we are running emotions. So these meridians indicate to us how important it is to have a balanced heart energy center, because that's running all of that energy to all of those areas and extending them out into the world. When we have issues with the heart, with all of these energy, emotional things that I'm talking about, grief, an overaccumulation of compassion, imbalance, stagnant, or something that is an overproduction, there could be disorders of the heart, or even just misalignments, chest, palpitations, some pain of any kind, because again, thinking if the gut is off, then, kind of the whole system is off. Insomnia, night sweats, mental problems, anything that could be along those lines, it might be signaling an issue with the flow from that heart, from the meridian of the heart. Now, the heart, the way that we can bring all of this into balance really is through respiration and inspiration. Well, there's a lot of ways, but these are 2 primary ways that will really target the heart. Respiration, of course, is our breathing. We talk about breathing a lot in all of my videos, and we talked about it in the last one. But breathing is the breath of life. It is drawing in the fact that you are being loved into reality. You are being loved into reality by source energy, creator, God, whatever word you prefer. That's what respiration is helping us to come in alignment with. And it's also such a model, not just a model, but a mechanism of balance, the breath. Because you could think of it as 2 parts, the inhale, exhale, or you could think of it as 4 parts. And we have the inhale, the apex, the exhale, the apex, the empty and the full, both of these working together with the inhale and the exhale. And so we have this quadrilateral breath, all bringing us into balance. The quadrilateral breath, if we think about it in the 4 parts of the inhale, apex, exhale, apex. And when I say apex, the inhale is the fullness, exhale, then the apex, that's the emptiness. If we pay attention to those as we are consciously, intentionally breathing, then we can be aligning with the 4 elements of manifestation, of creation. And then your awareness of that breathing and of those 4 elements, 4 parts, 4 cardinal directions of the breath is you aligning with Aether, the 5th element, which is the God element, the nothing or the something and the everything that is holding everything together. So the quadrilateral breath is so beautiful, so divine. So I give you that as home play as opposed to homework is what I tell my clients. Just sit for even 90 seconds doing the quadrilateral breath, recognizing that you are connecting with the 4 elements of creation and you are also connecting with the 5th element of creator. And if you are in the space where you can join in on a really short heart activation and balancing, then let's do that right now. If you're in the place where you can close your eyes, become calmer and more relaxed, then I invite you to do that. And if you're not, then just, pay attention, just listen to it. And it's very simple, so you can do it later on your own. And so as you are breathing a little slower, a little deeper and easier now, visualize or imagine that there is a golden sphere seated right there in the center of your chest where your heart is. And send your energy to it, send your awareness there. And however you imagine it, whatever sensing, feeling, or visualization that you utilize is just right. Imagery is about more than just seeing. Imagery is also about sensing, feeling, and simply choosing to imagine that higher image. And so as you may sense this golden sphere inside your heart, notice or allow it to rotate as well. Rotate in any direction that seems right, whether it rotates just horizontally or vertically or in all directions, because it is a sphere and it has this golden light within it, a beautiful golden light. And as you notice it rotating and as you notice this golden light, that they synchronize, the light and the rotation synchronize together. Allow that synchronization. Give your heart permission with this synchrony to release any excess energy, any excess grief, any density. And if there's any grief, just give it permission to be in process as is appropriate. And as you are noticing this, then just love the process, love your heart. Allow your heart to love you. We are building that self-love. Allow the light and the rotation, that golden light and that rotation to balance the energy. You may see it sloughing off anything that it doesn't need, and we can just allow it to be released to the earth or to the light to be transmuted, transcended, and become that neutral energy again. Imagine that light and motion are flowing throughout your whole energy system, throughout your body, through those meridians that are creating balance and creating that synchrony, flowing fresh life, fresh light, balance to all areas. And when it seems complete, then you can take a nice, deep, cleansing, nourishing breath. Hold just a moment at the apex just to recognize the abundance and fullness of the breath of life. And then a long, slow release, longer release than the inhale was. And if you get to the end of that release, you can even hold it at the emptiness, just to recognize that you have a balanced faith, that life is always in process. The next inhale is aligned in the right moment. And then if you would like to resound inside your energy or aloud with your voice, this affirmation, this mantra, I am inspired. You see, we said that the heart chakra has to do with respiration and inspiration. To be inspired means to be filled with spirit, whereas respiration is the repetition of spirit creating human form. Inspiration is this filling up with spirit, with life, with light. And so affirming, I am inspired. Well, I hope you felt that golden light energy and that motion of synchrony filling your system, I recommend you do this at any time. That you could even do it while you're sitting at your desk or you're taking a moment to yourself, and just know it's a self-loving activity. That's what I have for you on the Heart Chakra. Now, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, share, comment once again. And in the comments, if you have any questions or any requests for videos, well, I welcome them. And I just so appreciate you being here. I appreciate your heart. Together, we come together as one divine heart for healing, for balance, for proper compassion, for an expansion of compassion in this beautiful world, this wonderful planet upon which we live. So thank you for shining your light. And thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.